WPBF 25 News at 11 starts with breaking news.
We have several breaking developments in the case. Controversy over the files in the sex trafficking investigation involving the late Jeffrey Epstein.
We're learning more about the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein documents and a House vote to subpoena the U.S. Department of Justice to release all those files. First, the Wall Street Journal is now reporting that U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi told President Donald Trump that his name, among many other high-profile figures, appeared in the Epstein files. The warning reportedly came when the Justice Department reviewed the documents in May before it announced they would not be made public.
Also tonight, the House Oversight Subcommittee voted to subpoena the Department of Justice to force the release of the Epstein files. The motion passed by a bipartisan vote of 8-2. Notably, 3 Republican lawmakers joined Democrats on the subcommittee to approve that subpoena, defying GOP leadership. And Chairman James Comer must sign the subpoena before it can be officially issued per committee rules. Sources tell ABC News tonight he plans to sign off on that subpoena.
Today, Chairman Comer also issuing a subpoena to Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted ex-girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, for a deposition to occur at Federal Correctional Institution in Tallahassee next month. Good evening. I'm Felicia Rodriguez.
I'm Todd McDermott. Thank you for joining us here at 11. Ari Height has more on the federal judge in Florida who first denied the DOJ request to unseal the Epstein documents and subpoena for Maxwell, now serving time for sex trafficking.
The first update of the day came Wednesday afternoon when a federal judge in Florida denied a request from the Justice Department to unseal grand jury records tied to the Jeffrey Epstein investigations from 2005 to 2007.
That's totally expected.
Dave Arenberg is the former state attorney in Palm Beach County. He says there are very strict laws when it comes to secrecy in grand juries. He believes the judge had to deny the request, but he also believes there's not much in those records people want to see anyway.
Even if the grand jury transcripts had been released, it would not have satisfied people who wanted to see the Epstein files.
Arenberg says those files are controlled by the Justice Department, which has chosen to not release them. Another person who could provide information is Epstein's longtime partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. And Congress today issued a subpoena for a deposition for her to answer questions from Congress from the Tallahassee prison where she's currently being held. But Arenberg also has doubts as to what light she would shed on the Epstein files.
I'm not sure you're going to count on this professional human trafficker, this professional criminal, this professional liar to speak freely and with the truth and do the right thing here.
In the end, Arenberg says as this process moves along, there's one thing everybody needs to keep in mind.
Even though it's clear that Trump's name is in the Epstein files, it does not mean that he's guilty of anything. It does not mean that he committed any crimes.
That was Ari Height reporting. As for those Epstein grand jury records in question, Dave Arenberg believes the Department of Justice will appeal that judge's ruling, but he still does not believe those records will ever be unsealed.